Hi, today we'll be taking a look at the new Dimension Police deck from the upcoming Clan Selection Volume 2. This will be featuring Zeal. We'll start with the grade 3. So first of all, when this unit enters the Vanguard or Rearguard circle from hand, look at the top of your deck and call it onto your Rearguard circle. Alright, this is a compulsory effect. Next, if this unit is on the Vanguard circle, choose an opponent's Vanguard and you get power minus 5k for each marker on any of its circle. Alright, so this deck is very strong against deck that do multiple gift marker per turn, such as Gobardin and also Great Nature Hamsuke. Right, but the biggest problem against deck that uses Protect 1. Right, so if you were to go against Protect 1, you will need to change your strategy accordingly. Next, activation skill as a Vanguard once per turn. Counterblast 1. Choose any amount of your Rearguard and put them into your soul. Choose an opponent's Vanguard, you get power minus 10k. And if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 and above, and you have the grade 2 Zeal in soul, for every 2 unit that was put into soul by this for the cost, you get drive plus 1. So we have a potential quadruple drive. Right, so that's Zeal. Next, the second grade 3 will be Blood Black. Right, so for the superior right. And also for the pseudo force 1 for your front row. Right, so we are playing this. So in the case where we are going first, right, we will be using the pseudo force 1 for the front row, and also to look at top 7 to add a grade 3 to hand. Right, so this is more of a setup, and if we are lucky we go second and we write this, we can actually go for a second Vanguard attack in that turn. So we can go for multi attack since we are decreasing our opponent's Vanguard's main power. Alright, let's go for the grade 2. So grade 2 Zeal. Activation effect on the Vanguard Rearguard circle once per turn. Counterblast 1. Rest 2 of your Rearguards. Choose an opponent's Vanguard, and during this turn you get power minus 5k. If you have the grade 1 Zeal in soul, you get to draw 1. Next, when ruled upon by a grade 3, choose an opponent's Vanguard, and during this turn you get minus 5k. So definitely a must play in the deck. This is our main strategy. Right, because this Zeal, if you are using the first effect, it will depend on the opponent's circle. But this one, right, is a definite minus 5k, and on the turn they got ruled upon, they get minus another 5k. Right, so I would say this is the main unit in this deck, as you can pull off a lot of combo with just that, even without Zeal. With Blood alone, right, this is actually very, very painful. Next, for the other two grade 2, our main will be the active mask. Since your opponent's Vanguard power will most probably be at least the highest will be 8000. Right, can go to negative depending on how we combo the field. Alright, so having a restanding Rearguard is definitely a very, very scary thing. And also we have Platinum Ace. If we manage to push our Vanguard's power to 30k and above, we can soul plus 1 to give it plus 10k and 1 crit. Right, so these are the pressurizing unit in the deck. Right, let's go for the grade 1. Right, as you can see, we actually play more grade 1, as they are your setup cards. So first of all, it's Zeal. When it enters the Vanguard Rearguard circle, look at top 7, choose a grade 2 and above Zeal, add it to hand, shuffle the deck. Ability of the same name can activate once per turn. Right, so it's a free addition to hand. Next, we have Twin Order. When boosting, choose choose your Vanguard, you get power plus 10k for each force marker on your field. Right, so with this we can actually go for force 2 if needed. Then we have Die Brave. So Soul plus 1 of your Vanguard get power plus 5k. And when your Vanguard attack hits a Vanguard, you can put in your Soul to draw 1 to increase our resources. Dice Scooper, if rolled upon, look at top 7, add up to 1 grade 3 to hand, and when it enters the rearguard circle, choose one of your grade 3 Vanguard and you get power plus 5k. Alright, for trigger we are playing the 4 draw, 8 crit and 4 heal. Alright, before we continue, let's take a look at the cards that were in consideration. So first of all we have of course we have the grade 3 Searcher. Alright, so this was Dice Scooper was played instead of this because of Zeal's effect where we can superior core. Right, so when superior core I can actually give Zeal additional 5k, which will change a lot, whereas this can only activate when it enters the field from hand, and you get power plus 5k itself. So in terms of synergy for my strategy, it's not really there. Next we have Go Biker. When it enters the field, rest it, choose one with Vanguard plus 10k. If it's a grade 3 and if it's a grade 3, can stand this unit. Alright, this is actually a pretty fun card, but we do not have that space because we prioritize in the resources, which is Die Brave. Right, so it's either or. For trigger, we actually was thinking of 10 crit instead, but the first few games that we tested out, I have some hand size issues, so we went with 4 draw. Right, let's go to grid 2. We have Die Dragon. Right, so Die Dragon was replaced by Active Mask since I'm going for multi attack instead. Right, it's definitely good to have. For grade 3, we actually have a lot of candidate. Right, so we have Die Liner, which is useful if you go first. Great Dayusha, good restanding Vanguard. Odeon, which is similar to Zeal, but I'll say the cost is a bit high. Grigio, which is very useful when superior core onto the field. Right, when superior core on the field, your opponent must choose whether they want to counter plus 1. If not, you can look at top 2 and call it onto the field. So definitely a good target for Zeal. And of course we have Shubat as a rear guards. Okay, and for this deck mainly we will go for force 2. Right, mainly force 2, but depending on the situation, like we know that we definitely your opponent can guard through your attack very easily. We'll change it to force 1. Right, so that we can try to clear off as much hand as we can. Right, so let's take a look at the gameplay. Alright, we will start off as the second player's first grade 3 turn with our opponent as a force clan, so it'll be a 13k base. Right, so we'll start off, stand and draw. So we'll go with Blood Black. So enter the field, force 2 to our Vanguard. Scooper, 5k to my Vanguard. Active Mask, so activate plus black effect, counter plus 1. 3 unit in my front row get power plus 10k. And effect, so plus 1. So I give my Vanguard plus another 5k. So this already 33k base. Right, let's go into battle. So first of all, we attack with the rear guard. So if my vanguards, oh, but before we forget, my opponent's vanguard get power minus 5k due to the on right effect. So if my vanguard is grade 3 and above, is 30k and above, I can soul plus 1 during this turn. This unit get power plus 10k and crit plus 1. So without boost, soul plus 1, 10k, 1 crit. Alright, next active mask without the boost, it will be 20 against the 8k, and if they were to trigger, it will be 18. Next, we'll go with the vanguard. So this 33k, 2 crit, twin drive, first check, critical plus 10k. So let's say my opponent were to guard it through, we give it to the rear. Sorry, we're attacking, need to pay the cost to restand it. Sorry for forgetting. So first check, second check, twin order. After battle, look at top 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Add up to 1 grade 3 to hand, 0. Right, shuffle the deck. Since our opponent's vanguard is at grade 3 at this moment, we are second player, so I can discard 2 cards from my hand. Let's say we were to go with these two. Rewrite. So it actually gets power plus 10k, drive minus 1 on right. First of all, we have a force 2. And review the top, call it onto the field. So this 13. If my opponent have not triggered anything, this will still go through. Alright, so we'll go with this first. Right, next, vanguard, single drive, draw trigger, draw 1, then hit to the rear. And over here we have a 48k 2 crit, 3 crit, and turn. Right, so that's for our first turn. Right, we should be able to get through one more attack. We try to take 1 damage. Kanzen, and right, so stand, draw. So we'll start off with one more of this, and effect, soul plus 1, 5k to vanguard, effect, counter plus 1, 10k to off front row. So 20 against 13, most probably you get guarded. 36k, we're attacking counter plus 1, restand, twin drive, heal trigger, look at top 7, to hand, discard 2 card. Right. On right, look at top to call it onto the field. Right, by right I should attack with this first. Right, so that was a mistake. But let's say we already attacked with this previously. Enters the field. This. Single check. And an attack. Right, so that's the basic flow for this deck. We are aiming for 5 attack in a turn. With double vanguard and 3 rearguard attack. Right, so there are actually more builds for Zeal. Actually, there are too many choices. Right, so this is our first build. We'll be testing out more, and we'll take a look at the test play video in probably 1 week time. Right, so see you again.